So we are back with our Claro Walnut body blank. Hopefully at this point you've watched all of the previous videos and we're golden. Now I need to work out where I'm going to put the humbuckers and the tremolo system and, well, everything. And quite frankly, this is the scariest part of the build. First things first, you need to figure out where your neck is going to sit. Now this is a 24 fret neck and it is slightly more difficult, i.e. I have less tradition behind me. On a normal 22 fret Gibson neck, it sits the 16th fret, well, 13, 14, 15, 16, the 16th fret sits at the body joint. And that's very easy, you know exactly where it's going to go, and that's where your neck sits. However, if you look at the line of the last fret, that is there, and the access is less. Now you could have a joint at the 16th fret and change this shape to give you the access that you require, or that I would require from any guitar that I build, but that won't really work. So I'm going to compromise. I'm going to meet at the 17th fret, which pushes the nut that way by about 13 millimeters, which is, for somebody who's been playing a Les Paul forever, they will notice that their hand is going a little bit further back. But for somebody who is picking up this guitar and will play this guitar for the rest of their lives, which is obviously the the plan when you're ordering a guitar of this magnitude, then it won't be an issue. And you will also then have complete access to all of the frets. So that is that. I know whereabouts my neck will be sitting, and from there I can now work out the pickups and everything using templates. So we're sorted. Now before I get any further though, I want to be more precise, and I'm going to have to do some work on the end of this neck to cut it down. First things first, I need to make my center line more pronounced. This was drawn on in the last video while we were creating the final body shape. Your center line is the be-all and end-all of any instrument design. Everything will work from this. From, I was about to say from that to that to that. Everything works from there. Now, that is roughly where that goes. I need to hold that up with something. And now I haven't sorted out the final shaping of the neck. That is something else. I'm going to use my wonderful protractor to find out where the end of the fretboard is going to sit. Once you've got that, you go from your center line and that there is the end of your fretboard. From that, I can now use a template, or two, or three. And here you can see the difference. Standard 22 fret neck ends about there, and the pickup is here. On this one, the pickup is moved back, and that'll be about there. So, find my center lines on my template. And make sure they line up all the way along. And Here we go. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and draw this because that distance will also have changed. The distance between the two pickups will have changed. So, just double check my work. That all looks fine. Measure, measure, cut. It's an old adage, but by golly, it saved me a lot of hassle over the years. I just said by golly. You can tell I have a couple of toddlers in the house. Now, let us see. I now need to work out where my bridge will sit, which will inform where my bridge pickup sits. And for that, I'm going to have to do some mathematics. Help! One other thing which is making the pickup position and everything non-standard is that this client has decided that he wants a 650mm scale length, which is the same as the other guitar that he's used to playing, presumably an acoustic, because that is a standard sort of steel string scale length. And obviously a Gibson scale is 629, so everything is longer and bigger. Now, I've measured from the end of the fretboard to the nut at 497mm, and my trusty calculator, i.e. smartphone, tells me that the nominal intonation point is 153mm from the end of the fretboard. We get a good quality ruler. Never skimp on measuring tools. Never skimp on tools, frankly. And that there is our nominal intonation point. Obviously, intonation is a difficult beast. Sorry, I can't talk and work at the same time. Okay, and then I now need to go and see what's happening with the trem. We are using one of the custom Crimson Guitars ball bearing based tremolo systems. I've been prototyping these for it seems like years, and finally have come up with a system that does what I want it to. And basically that is the line there. It's a three-piece system, so there's going to be bearings on the end there, and your height adjustment posts there. And that means that I want my bridge pickup about there. Now, measurement wise, from where the ends of the saddles will be, in other words the intonation point, it's about 22mm, which is fairly standard. The closer the bridge gets, the closer the bridge pickup gets to the saddles, the brighter the tone, and you don't want it to be too bright. You definitely don't want it to be too bright. Now I just need to work out and make absolutely certain that's the width of the pickup saddle. I'll throw my precision measuring instruments on the floor. Yes, I have enough room. So that is where my hole begins. And it's back to my trusty old template. Hopefully by the time this video hits the air, we will have standard pickup routing templates and various other guitar building aids in our online shop. You should check it out. Alright, so that looks to me like everything's in place. I now need to do my trim cavity. Now, because this is a non-standard trim, I need to be even more careful. So draw an outline and sorry. There's a lot involved. There is a lot involved. Jessica, my trusty Bradle. That line there is where my trim block will sit, like that, roughly. And centre line that. That looks like where that cavity needs to go. We're getting there. Now what I'll do is I'll route the top pockets out and then go back and, using the position of that, work out where the spring cavity goes and move on from there. Now, now that I am happy with where all of this is, I am going to transfer it or redraw these lines. That was a very annoying sound. I'm going to redraw these lines in pen because there is rather a lot to do before I get to the point of routing. There we go. And obviously using pen isn't a problem because, well, it might not be so obvious. I'm going to be doing a lot of carving. All of these dents where I've drawn with a hard ballpoint pen will disappear. If this was a 2mm thick, or 3.5mm thick to be more precise, acoustic guitar top, I wouldn't dream of drawing in pen. So, onwards and upwards, as they say.